Okay, so the topic today is self concept. What are you conscious of being and possessing? So, what are you? And this is something that you get to determine for yourself. So, if you think that you are beautiful, magnetic, healthy, and glowing, then what do you have? It's gonna, what you correspond with, it's gonna be what you have is a reflection of what you think you are. So, for the example, if you think you're beautiful, healthy, and glowing, then you have a beautiful face and body. And you're gonna find that you're gonna get like bias confirmation. So, if you assume these things about yourself, then you're going to create that in your reality and it's going to reflect it back to you. So you're going to see that you're going to put more care into your physical training and activities, what kinds of stuff you eat, what kinds of energy you tolerate being around, for example. Okay, so another example would be if you think you're lovable, magnetic, and desired. So, if a woman thinks that she's lovable, magnetic, and desired, then what is she going to have? She's going to have men pursuing her and doing anything for her. And it's because of your reticular activating system in your brain. You're going to start to be more aware of that and focusing on it more. And it's actually proven by science. So that's cool. This is not really all that woo because science is confirming it. Okay, so if you think you are rich, wealthy, and successful, then what are you going to have? What's going to show up in your reality? You're going to see that you have money and you're always receiving money. So, for example, one thing that I noticed is the more wealthy I feel, the less I feel like I need to impulse buy or doing retail therapy, the less I feel like dissatisfied to where I feel like I need to buy something to feel better. So it's not that entertaining to watch like TikTok about beauty trends that I need to chase or trying to go to vacation destinations so that I can feel better because I already feel really happy and I feel like I created a life that feels like a vacation. Okay, so another example, if you feel like you're thriving, then what do you have? You feel like you have the best life. So you'll feel really happy with what you have. When you feel like you're thriving, you don't really have to worry about aging, for example. And you're going to see that your life just keeps on getting better and better the more that you feel like you're thriving. So, another example, I am happy. If you feel like you are happy and you define yourself that way, then what do you have? You have positive thoughts. So, you'll see that you'll be able to affirm and say really positive thoughts and flip your thoughts in the moment to be more positive, and you'll see that it's going to feel natural. It doesn't feel like fake or performative. So another example, I'm on the best frequency. So if you feel like you're on the best frequency, then what do you have? You have positive experiences. So your circumstances are neutral, but it's the way that you interpret your circumstances. So if you feel like you're on the best frequency, you will interpret your experiences as positive. And then you're going to have more and more positive experiences and more things to be grateful for. If you define yourself as high value, then you're going to have more and more experiences where people recognize your value. So if you define yourself as high value, and let's say that somebody tries to reject you, you are going to not actually experience rejection. You're going to experience feeling like, okay, it's your loss. That's what your actual experience will be. So you'll find that people will have less and less control over what you actually experience in your reality. So your reality is going to become more and more stable and positive because of a result of how you define yourself. Because you recognize your value, then you'll have experiences where people are also recognizing your value. Okay, so if you define yourself as blessed, what are you going to have? You're going to have experiences where you have miracles and blessings. And you're going to pick up on that more and more. If you define yourself as favored, you're going to see more and more circumstances where you are favored. You're going to see that you have your ideal circumstances. So being favored would mean that if, let's say, a bunch of candidates interview for a job, but you define yourself as someone who's favored, then you experience being favored and being chosen for that job. You're going to feel like you deserve it over everybody else. Okay, if you define yourself as magic, then you are going to have all of your manifestations. You're not going to define yourself as somebody trying to manifest. If you define yourself as magic, then you're going to see things just showing up for you. You're going to see more and more synchronicity, and you're going to see that a lot of things are even better than what you visualized in like a magical, blessed way. And things and experiences come to you instead of you going to them. If you define yourself as clairvoyant, then you will see experiences where you felt like you just knew things, and you're going to see that the things that you are trying to manifest or the things that you were praying for, it feels like you were just predicting the future and that's what was going to happen anyways. If you define yourself as the light of the world, you will see that you have so much to be grateful for. You will see that you will have confidence in your future, and you'll have trust that God is blessing you. Okay, so some other examples of things you could define yourself as. So you could define yourself as being good at your job. You can define yourself as being good at speaking or writing. You can define yourself as being the perfect partner. You could define yourself as being loved, as being attractive. You can define yourself as being radiant. You can define yourself as somebody who's a good partner that the right kind of people, would want to commit to effortlessly. Things you can manifest writing a book, you could manifest living exactly where you want to live, which I did that. So that was really fun for me. You can manifest meeting the man or woman of your dreams and being in a perfect relationship if that's what you want. Anyways, there's really not any limit to it. What you should do is write down all of the attributes that you admire, and then you will see that you will start just having things. And it all starts with self concept and what you think about yourself. And it's up to you. So, you don't have to define yourself the way other people are defining you. you're the one that gets to decide. And it's pretty much the most important thing to have self love, because if you don't have self love, it's hard for you to feel the love of God. It's hard for you to feel love for other people. So everything starts with loving yourself first. Anyways, I hope that you found this information helpful, and thanks for watching. If you want to learn more, you can pick up my book, Manifest and Pray. It's really just a system. So it's not that you have to manifest first and then pray second. They kind of just go together like peanut butter and jelly. And so that's how it got its title. I'm also working on some other stuff, but I can't talk about it now until it's trademarked. But, anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.